Welcome to Course 4, Foundation, Certified Supply Chain Professional, CSCP, course, by SPAO Academy. Topic 2, Global Supply Chain Networks, Section 10, the SCOR Model, Lesson 2, SCOR Process Framework. SCOR Process Framework. Welcome to Lesson 2 on the SCOR Model. In the previous lesson, we introduced the SCOR model as a powerful tool for standardizing and improving supply chain operations. Now, we will dive into the engine of that model, the SCOR process framework. This framework provides a common language and structure for describing, measuring, and evaluating supply chains. It breaks down the complex web of supply chain activities into 6 distinct, high-level management processes. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify and describe these 6 core processes and understand how they interact to form a complete supply chain. The 6 core management processes. The SCOR model, version 12+, organizes supply chain activities into 6 primary processes. Think of these as the fundamental verbs of supply chain management. They are plan, source, make, deliver, return, enable. Let's explore each one in detail. 1. Plan. The engine room plan is the process that balances aggregate demand and supply to develop a course of action which best meets sourcing, production, and delivery requirements. Planning is the orchestrator of the supply chain. It doesn't handle the physical flow of goods itself, but it dictates the rules for the other processes. Key activities include demand planning, forecasting customer demand, supply planning, determining how to meet the forecasted demand, e.g., how much to buy, make, or deliver. Inventory planning, setting inventory targets and policies. Production planning, scheduling manufacturing activities. Supply chain planning, balancing resources with requirements across the entire network. Example: a clothing retailer's plan process forecasts high demand for winter coats based on weather predictions and past sales data. This plan will then trigger the sourcing, making, and delivery processes. 2. Source, getting what you need. Source describes the procurement of goods and services to meet planned or actual demand. This process focuses on getting the right materials, from the right supplier, at the right time, in the right quantity, and at the right price. Key activities include supplier identification and selection, finding and contracting with vendors. Order placement, sending purchase orders to suppliers. Receiving, accepting deliveries of raw materials or finished goods. Supplier performance management, evaluating supplier reliability, quality, and cost. Invoice management, processing payments to suppliers. Example: to make those winter coats, the retailer's source process involves ordering fabric, zippers, and thread from textile suppliers. 3. Make, the transformation. Make is the process that transforms a product or service to its finished state to meet planned or actual demand. This is where value is physically added to the materials. Key activities include production execution, the actual manufacturing, assembly, or chemical processing. Packaging, preparing finished goods for shipment. Quality assurance, testing and inspecting products to ensure they meet standards. Production waste management, handling byproducts and scrap. Example: the make process for the retailer involves a factory, perhaps owned by a supplier, cutting the fabric, sewing the pieces together, and adding the final touches to create the finished winter coats. 4. Deliver, getting it to the customer. Deliver describes the processes associated with providing finished goods and services to meet planned or actual demand. This includes all logistics activities from order receipt to final delivery. Key activities include order management, entering, validating, and confirming customer orders. Warehousing, storing finished goods, picking, and packing orders. Transportation, managing the shipment of goods to customers, truck, rail, air, ocean. Installation, setting up the product at the customer's site, if applicable. Invoicing, generating and sending customer invoices. Example: the deliver process for the retailer involves receiving a customer's online order, picking the coat from a warehouse, packing it into a box, and shipping it to the customer's home. 5. Return, the reverse flow. Return describes the process associated with reversing the flow of goods. This is often referred to as reverse logistics. It covers the movement of products from the customer back to the seller or manufacturer for various reasons. Key activities include defective returns, handling products that are faulty or damaged. Maintenance, repair, and overhaul, MRO, managing products returned for service. End-of-life returns, processing products that are no longer needed. Customer returns, managing products the customer simply didn't want. Authorizing and scheduling returns, giving customers permission to return an item and managing the logistics. Example: a customer receives the winter coat but finds it's the wrong size. The return process manages the return authorization, the shipment of the coat back to the warehouse, and the eventual refund or exchange. 6. Enable, the support system. Enable supports the execution of all the other supply chain management processes. It involves the management of business rules, performance, data, and assets that keep the supply chain running smoothly. This process is critical because the other 5 cannot function effectively without it. Key activities include supply chain performance management, tracking and reporting on KPIs, key performance indicators. Supply chain data management, managing master data, product, customer, supplier info. Contract and compliance management, ensuring adherence to agreements and regulations. Human resources management, training and managing the supply chain workforce. Technology and asset management, managing the IT systems and physical assets used in the supply chain. Example: the enable process for the retailer ensures the website's inventory levels are accurate. Data management, the delivery drivers are properly trained. HR management, and the warehouse management software is functioning correctly. Technology management. How the framework flows. To visualize how these processes work together, imagine a simple supply chain for a made-to-order product. Enable is the foundation, ensuring the systems, data, and rules are in place. Plan forecasts future demand and creates a high-level strategy. A customer places an order, triggering the deliver process to manage the sale. Since there's no finished inventory, source orders the raw materials needed. When materials arrive, make produces the finished good. Finally, deliver ships the completed product to the customer. If the customer is unhappy, return manages the flow of the product back. Summary: the SCOR process framework provides a universal language for describing the key activities in any supply chain. By breaking a complex system down into plan, source, make, deliver, return, and enable, managers can better analyze, measure, and improve their operations. This framework is the essential first step toward using the SCOR model for supply chain transformation. In the next lesson, we will explore the next 2 pillars of the SCOR model: the performance attributes and metrics used to measure the success of these processes. I really appreciate you spending your time with me today. If you want to learn more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your like means the world to us and helps this channel grow so we can continue bringing you great content. Thanks again, and see you on the next video.